Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Um, there has been a lot of interest in how I am screening, I guess, properties. So this is a little side project that I'm going to show you. It's not complete, and I haven't tested, and I haven't monetized. Um, yeah, I was away for the weekend, but I started it the week before I was away, and then I just came back to it yesterday. So there's two legs. One leg speaks about P0160, which I spoke about in a previous video, which is basically the Stats SA Residential Property Price Index, which is very valuable if you want to see how residential properties appreciate, and the different sectors, different metros across the different provinces. That gives you a lot of information. And then the second leg, someone wanted to collaborate with me in fetching property prices, I guess. Yeah, I can already do that, but thanks. All right, so those are the two legs that I'm gonna be touching on. Hopefully the video is gonna be nice and short, and I'm not gonna have to hide a lot of things. So I obviously have a main script, and then all I'm showing you is the run script, because this is IP, right? So you can't just share everything. But if this or when this is ready, I'm definitely going to let you guys play around with it, probably for a fee, because nothing is mahala. All right, so this is the first leg, which is basically P016. So you ask it different things and then it comes back with an answer. It's running on my local machine, so like I said, it's busy, it's in testing mode at the moment, but we're gonna see sort of the results on this end, in this format. So there's a query, which is my question. So I'm asking about it, and then it brings back the three most relevant points. I only have 12 data points. So I think I have December 2024 up until January, January 2024 up until December 2024 in terms of the P016 reports from Stats SA. So that's the question, and then the AI comes up with an answer. It gives you a confidence level. As a statistician, you have to really just appreciate that. All right, so the relevant score is not working, so I'm just gonna comment that out. The rest seem to work, but I'm just gonna, I don't know how to make this bigger now. How do I make my screen bigger? To make my screen bigger. Settings, yes, font. Okay, I'll make this 18. Yeah. I hope that persists. Font size 18. Yeah, all right, that already looks better. Okay, yeah, that should look a bit better. Okay, so what was going wrong was the ranking for the relevant score. I don't think it's a number, so that's giving me trouble. But what I am, maybe not, maybe I'm not gonna comment it out. Maybe I'm just gonna remove the relevance score, and just keep the title, because I am interested in just showing that I am getting this from the P016. So let's just check this out. I have data, I have, yeah. So let me just print the results. Is it the subset? What am I doing wrong there? Oh, it's the minus. It's actually not even the relevant score being wrong. I think this is trying to minus the result, and it's not a number. What am I doing wrong? String indices must be integers, not str. Okay, so it's not relevance, it's definitely the title. Okay, let's kill that. Alright, so when you're testing something doesn't work, you just run with it. Alright, so I've already got the response, I've got the data. The reason that I know I've got the response is that I can come here and say response, and then we can have a look at the response. Right, it's at 200. So now you can say data this is the data. So there's the answer, there's the LLM ranked results. This is how I wrote it. There's the LLM ranked results, there's the ID, which is the data source. There's another ID, there's another query. There's ID, relevance, score, summary, title. Then there's the query. Then you've got the vector candidates, which is the information within each source and within each answer. So that's the data which is coming from the response. But this makes more sense and is more intelligible. So this is basically showing me, the question is, tell me what is happening to property at Gqeberha. The AI answer says, let me just make this a bit bigger. Right, so, okay, let me kill this so that when I run this, hopefully the text is also bigger on that side. Yeah, I think the text got a bit bigger that side as well. Let's just wait it out. Apologies, you know, when you're sharing something, when you're working on something. Yeah. Let's just give it a second. Alright, so I'm working in Python. Sometimes I work in R. Yeah. It's just that I've worked in R on something similar before, so for me it made more sense to do it here. What did I do? Oh, the summary is also not working. Okay, so this whole for loop. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm using Control-Shift-C, which is how you comment out in R, bulk comment, but I wanted to say Control and slash, which is how you comment out in Python. Okay, so my answer, or the question is, tell me what's happening to property at Gqeberha. The AI answer is that the documents provided detail residential property for Nelson Mandela Bay. So look how cool it is. It picked up that Gqeberha is indeed Nelson Mandela Bay. So you'll see here, my prompt was mentioning Gqeberha, not Nelson Mandela specifically. Including freehold properties sold for the first time, and resold properties. They show index numbers and percentage changes over time, indicating trends in, I hope the audio is being recorded, property prices within the area. However, without specific values or trends from the documents, it's clear that the RPPI is being used to track and analyze property prices in Nelson Mandela Bay, but the exact nature of these movements, whether they're increasing or stabilizing, isn't detailed in the provided summaries. So it's got a 70% confidence level, and then it's ranking sort of the three sources that it gives. So like I said, it's the P0160. So I don't think this is correct, because it's only bringing the three sources that it's citing, but it's only bringing a single one. So I'll have to fix that. So I'm gonna change this to say in Ekurhuleni, right? I know Ekurhuleni is there, and I know there's quite a lot about it. So I'm gonna leave out this whole vector search candidates, because that's clearly not working. So I want to see, so I've changed the prompt here, just the different metro. Previously I had checked Nelson, Gqeberha, and then it picked up Nelson Mandela Bay, but it didn't have detailed numbers about it. Let's see if it picks up something hearty, something usable for Ekurhuleni. And then obviously we'll go to Cape Town, because everyone's interested in property in Cape Town and how crazy it really is. So let's have a look at that. Let me move this down a bit. All right, let's give it a minute. So like I said, this is part one of what I want to show you, which is basically the information set that I am going to be using when I am looking for property. Like I said, guys, someone asked for my email address, and I explained that emails are consultations and I consult at a fee. My email address is available on my WhatsApp, but the moment that you email me, please know that my PayShap details are going to be quick to follow well before we get into the topic at hand, simply because time is money. And this is one of the projects that I am going to be using to, consult with people in terms of their property valuation and their journey, their investment journey, rather. So this is saying, so I asked about Ekurhuleni. So the answer says the property market in Ekurhuleni is experiencing moderate growth, as indicated by the residential property price index data for May 2024. The overall PPI shows a 0.2 month-on-month increase and a 0.6 year-on-year change. Specifically, freehold properties in the area have seen a slightly higher month-on-month increase of 0.3 and a significant year-on-year change of 2%. Additionally, resale properties in Ekurhuleni have recorded a 0.1 month-on-month and 1.6 year-on-year change. This figure suggests a steady but varied growth across different types of properties in the region. So it is citing May 2024. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go to Stats SA, right? I'm going to open an incognito tab, right? Right. So I'm opening an incognito tab and then I'm going to Stats SA, right? I'm going to Stats SA. Then I'm going to go and say P0160. I want to show you straight May 2024. I'm opening it here, right? And then we're gonna search Ekurhuleni. So that's the weight, and this is the level of the index, right? And then I'm just gonna say here, got a lot open. Is it this? Yes. No. That is the second script. Yes, this is what I wanted to show. Oh, it's because I've got it on full screen, so that's why. Okay, so my script. Yeah. So this is saying what is it saying? Moderate growth, May 2024, 0.2% month on month. Ekurhuleni 0.2 month on month, yeah. 0.6 year on year, 0.6 May 2024 versus May 2023. Specifically freehold. Okay, let's look for freehold. So this is overall, that's contributions, sold, property sold for the first time, resold, sectional, freehold. Yes, so freehold Ekurhuleni, this is this line. Sorry, this is this line. Yeah, so here we're saying freehold slightly month on month of 0.3 and a year on year of 2.8. Perfect. Additionally, resold have reported. Okay, let's look for resold. We had sectional resold again, basically Ekurhuleni, right? So 0.1 month on month and a 1.6 year on year. These figures suggest a steady but varied what. Okay, so let's look for let's keep it Ekurhuleni, but let me ask for the latest information. The latest information available. Information, or let me say report available, because it's only bringing me stuff from 2024. I feel like this was covering. It's only bringing me stuff from 2024, so I hope that wasn't covering. Let me just go through that again in case the now I'm messing everything up. In case the video was covering it, but essentially this was Ekurhuleni sold for the first time, and this was Ekurhuleni resold properties. This is the percentage change, so that's the 0.1 month on month, and that is the 1.6 year on year. It also mentioned freehold properties. Again, we're looking at the third from the bottom line, month on month of 0.3 and year on year of 2.8. As this picked up. So what I'm saying here is I'm a bit concerned that it's bringing me May 2024 when there are fresher, packs. So I'm just quickly gonna run this and see what it gives me if I'm specifically prompting it for the latest information with respect to this. I think that's gonna be the last exercise we're sort of gonna check out. And then I'm gonna verify it again just by going to Stats SA and having a look see at the true document to verify that it is saying what I'm expecting it to say. This is live testing, by the way, because I did very preliminary checking, but I didn't fact check and cross reference with Stats SA just yet. So I'm doing that live. If I die, I die. Yeah. All right. So it's bringing July 2024 as the latest report. Next trends. We do have later information than that, but we do know that these models have trouble with, I think it's called temporal, whatever, it's time. They've got trouble with time. Where are the publications now? I don't know my way from here. Okay, let me just make this bigger because they lost. Oh yes, publication, statistical. So it's P016. Oh, so as you can see, there's like a January 2025 one which came out last week. So I haven't downloaded that one, but I do have November, December, October, so it shouldn't be picking up July. So let me just ask here. It's struggling with the latest. So let me say what is happening as of the latest information report. We know that that's not working. So let me say as of I guess December 2024. Yeah, let's stick with Ekurhuleni. Or ask it to compare maybe Ekurhuleni and Cape Town. I feel like this is gonna bother us. Let's see. So this is what I'm expecting. The December 2024 report. Ekurhuleni. It went down year. For new developments, went up, resold. So resold the properties that are not new, I guess. August 2024. Let me just check when this was released. So it was released in May. So I specifically asked about December 2024. Why would it bring me an August number? So it says now, as of August 2024, this thing is so lost when it comes to dates. All right, let me just say, tell me what's happening to property in Cape Town. Oh, wait, but let me see, do I have? I'm quickly just gonna check if I've downloaded the December numbers. That is personal. Let me see if I've downloaded the December numbers. August, yeah, I have the December 2024. I have them here. Testing in real time. Yeah, I have December 2024. You know why? I think my lookups aren't working. So I'll keep this the same, but instead of Ekurhuleni, I'm going to say in the Western. I know what's wrong. In the Western Cape. Yeah, okay. I know what's wrong. And I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it tomorrow night. I'm gonna fix it. So we'll be using Western Cape. Main contributors to the 5% annual inflation rate for Western Cape, 8.6%. And contributing 3.1 percentage points, and Gauteng, which went up 2.3%, and contributing 0.9%. Okay, let's see what response we get here for, I made a typo, but it shouldn't make a difference. I'm happy because it has 85% confidence in nonsense in the previous answer. Like it was wrong, but it was like 85% confident. Like, what's wrong with you? Oh, this is definitely wrong. So it says, as of May 2024, when I specifically asked it for December, like I specifically asked it for Western Cape, December 2024. Yeah. So it sucks when it comes to time. As of May 2024, the property, particularly in the city of Cape Town, is experiencing significant growth. Annual inflation rate of 5.4. So let's do Western Cape. For metropolitan areas. What? Oh, is that metro? Okay. Western Cape. That's the whole. So that's talking about metros. Okay, let's go to the metros. Okay, main contributors, City of Cape Town 5.4, Western Cape, the Western Cape itself, City of Cape Town, property market in the Western Cape, particularly in the City of Cape Town, is experiencing significant growth. The residential property price index data indicates an annual inflation of 5.4, there's it, for metros, including City of Cape Town. The Western Cape itself is contributed notably to the national inflation rate with a 7.9% increase. There's it, Western Cape 7.9. Specifically freehold in the metro, like City of Cape Town. Metro sold, first time resold, freehold. Yeah. Okay, let's say metro. Metro, that's all metro. That's resold. We're looking for freehold, yes. City of Cape Town, free. So that's the second line. That's 5.5. Let's see. Yep. These figures suggest a strong and growing property market in the Western Cape as of mid 2024, with no indications of a slowdown by December 2024, I guess, based on the provided data. Dude, I think maybe I'm not prompting well enough, or yeah. Anyways, the confidence is 0.85. Vector search candidates are May 2024. So what it's doing is it's picking up the first one instead of picking up multiple. So that's something that I'm doing wrong. Yeah, so I know, and I need to fix that. All right, so now I'm gonna go to the second thing that I wanted to show you, which is the second. So this is the script. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. So what I'm doing here is I am basically hide my code. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically going to Property 24 and I'm scraping data. What you're looking at here is obviously what I ran yesterday. So it's a timestamp, Western Cape, Cape Town, any suburb, because Property 24 doesn't necessarily fill that. And then for location of the listing, the bed, the title, the floor size, a retirement, whether it's a retirement or not, and then the price. So I just fetched about 20 of these to show you. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the script. It doesn't show, but I'm going to run the script so that you can see for the 18th. And yeah, we can use a different city. So previously I had the Western Cape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and this again, and then I'm going to do Property 24, and then I'm going to come here and say we're looking at sales, but we can also use this for rentals. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say Beaufort West. No, let me do Fort Beaufort. Yeah, let's search properties. What I usually do is I say sort by most recent. The most recent information holds, the most information in this as or respect. So what I would do is I would filter by house, apartment, townhouse. I don't really care for the others, although you can. Look, it's always good practice to pull all of the data and then filter on that. But yeah, it's not a must. But that's what I would do in this instance. And then I would grab the link. I would grab the link and then I would go to this. So I'm going to say here that is my base for it. Right. So right now I'm only doing it for one and I haven't saved the data. There's not a lot of pages. So yeah, I'm just gonna run it. Right, so there's the data for Fort Beaufort. Right, let's see. Did I call it combined DF? Yeah, that's combined DF. So timestamp is the 18th because I just ran it now. Let's pull this up. Province is the Eastern Cape, city Fort Beaufort. Location for Beaufort, Buffalo. It's not very creative. 3-bedroom, 4 bedrooms, houses, non-retirements. Those are the prices. It's about $1 million. Obviously, you can do cool things here like average, min, max, median price to basically check if your listing is in line. But like I said, this is just the raw data. Just something to bear in mind. These are listed properties. This doesn't mean it gets sold at this price. So you must just be mindful of putting too much weight, I guess, on this data. So essentially, I need to find a way of maybe storing this information somewhere. You can also do it for rentals. So let me just show you for rentals. I want to keep this, but I want to... Let's do rentals in Cape Town. Yeah, let's do to rent. Let's do Cape Town. Right, okay. So house, apartment, townhouse. There are sometimes mistakes here, right? When they've got millions and like they'll put a sold what's the name on the they'll put a property for sale on the properties for rent. So you have to just treat your outliers and sort that out. Make sure that everything makes sense. So I'm just gonna make this base URL that. Cool. Then I'll just run that. So now it's just telling me it's scraping, and then combined DF. Right. So that is. Oh, you can actually look at it here. Yeah. This is. Let me refresh. That was yesterday's one. So this is the 18th. This is the rental data. So you've got Rosebank, a bachelor, 32 squares for 13,000. Yeah. At 13,000, Rosebank bachelor. Claymont Upper, 36 square, also a bachelor, 12.5. Obs, a 4-bedroom house. So that's a house share, obviously. That's 6,950. Claymont, a 2-bed. That's 100 square meters. That's 17,500. Let's go to town. We've got Sea Point. Yeah. Let's look for Sea Point. Yeah, Sea Point, 19,000, 30,000, 33,000, 120,000, 100,000. 22,000. These are rental prices, bro. The minimum is 13,000, the maximum is 120,000. They're flipping mad. Yeah, that's Sea Point. Let's look at Rondebosch. So Rondebosch is where UCT is. So it tends to be a bit mad because there's a lot of students and then there's a lot of lecturers and so forth. So a 2-bedroom is 14,000, so 7.7 isn't bad. 1-bedroom is 11.5. That's mad. There's a 4-bed for 64,500. You can split that, but it's still a bit high. That's about 15k each. So a 2-bed, 14.5, decent. 2-bed, decent. 5.7 for one bed. That I want to see. Let's look at this one bed in Rondebosch for 5,750. Let's do. Let's keep it here, but let's do that. Oh, here's it. It's got one picture. Oh, it's a house share. It's a house share. They didn't advertise it correctly. It's a house share. It's not a standalone one bed. But yeah, now we know that the information exists. I've shown you two things. A number of people have commented. One person commented asking to partner up. I'm cool. I'm thanks. To fetch data. To collate that. Yeah. Then the second person asked me, or a number of people actually asked me where I get my data. So I showed you, and I've spoken about P0160 before, which is the report from Statistics South Africa. I do have other sources, of course, but I can't reveal all of them, right? Not on YouTube at least. So yeah, this is what I've been working on. I think the week before I went off, and then a bit yesterday and a bit tonight. So yeah, it's an ongoing project, like I said, and this is, I guess, what I do in my spare time when I'm not cycling and when I'm not traveling, when I'm not swimming, and when I'm not at the gym. I'm back on TikTok, but it's Tikal the Explorer, and it's just gonna be me and my travels. Yeah, so if you're into the lifestyle aspect of this, I guess check me out there, follow, like, and share my cool content. I've got a lot of trips coming up later this year. So yeah, if you're into that type of content, like I said, and you enjoy that side of me, then yeah, you should definitely give me a follow. I'm gonna cut the video here. Like I said, two things that I just wanted to show you in terms of the property model, and where I get my information. So there's this LM thing that I'm busy running here. It doesn't have a front end yet. I'm still testing. Like you can see, my run is pretty ugly. I need to change the font size back to a bit smaller. But yeah, this is literally running off my machine at the moment, and it's very ugly. It's very dirty. Yeah, you saw that my LLM rankings didn't work. So yeah, that's not really. It's not where I want it to be just yet. But I think for like 3 or 4 days worth of work, I'm happy with it. And then the second script, I just don't have. I haven't thought about what I'm going to do with the data now that I have it. Like where I'm gonna store it, and what would I do for aggregation, visualization, and all of that. So I need to think of that. And then, yeah, I think I'll keep you guys updated on the project. It's really exciting. Someone asked me where I know how to, or where I learned Excel. So I didn't really learn Excel, if I'm being honest. I think Excel has always just been something I knew, but programming I learned. I did IT, information technology, in high school, and then varsity I did a little bit of coding, but mostly I'm self-taught, and I think that's the best kind to be, I think, in 2025, because if you can teach yourself things quickly, then you can move with the times, I guess, and be agile. So like I said, I'm going to cut the video here. I've shown you a bit about what's happening in the property market, Ekapa, rental and sales. I've shown you a bit about Ekuruleni, mostly sales, and then, yeah, I've told you a bit about my programming journey, and I've told you a bit about Tikal the Explorer. Let me cut the video. Thanks for watching.